Lab account. Yeah. So yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Pam, say hi.
Hello, everyone. It's lovely to see everyone of you here. I hope this session will benefit you guys. Yes, welcome.
All right. I'm your moderator for this session, and I can see, yeah, we have our panel. All of them are here. Yeah, the last person that hadn't said hi was Kilinji Murungi. Hi. Could you just say hi? Check your audio too.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, I had to keep on switching devices.
Oh,
And it has taken some time. I'm really sorry about that. But I'm good now. Thank you.
yeah, it's fine. Okay, thank you. So as you had all seen in in the the link that has been doing rounds along various platforms and in our GDSC platform. Um, so today's topic, what we're hosting as GDSC is Let's Talk Engineering Degrees. So as an engineering student or someone who's just recently graduated from engineering, um, those questions you might be having about learning the various things about, just being an engineer and how to go about it. So this is what this topic is about, and we hope that you'll be able to learn together along the way, as we have a very amazing panel. We have amazing panelists with us. So we just get right on. I will introduce the panelists to you. So to start us off, we have just a minute. Yeah, so we have a senior lecturer in the chair of mechatronics department at Dedan Kimathi University. This is someone who specialized in material science, vibration control, machining, modeling, and simulation and renewable energy, among others. And yeah, he's in academia. Yeah, so that is Dr. Mulembo, Dr. Titus Mulembo. Could you say hi to the audience, please?
Okay, let me say hi. Let's see if my
Okay.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we can see you. Okay. So yes, that's Dr. Titus Mulembo. I think we'll learn more about him as we go on with the session. Then, so next we have, this is an RF engineer, an international PCB designer, a tutor also, yeah, and software and hardware programmer. He's also a co-founder in company that teaching what he's actually doing, that is Beyond Grids, an online school that teaches engineering and computer programming and PCB design. So this is Simon Dungu. Simon Dungu, you can say hi to us.
Okay, hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, you're clear.
Okay, it's a pleasure to be on this panel this morning. So, we'll get to keep the conversation going, and thank you guys for having me here.
All right, it's a pleasure too. All right, and last but not least, we have a systems engineer here, a panelist. Yeah, is a passionate individual interested in electronics and software engineering, energy technologies, anything AI and IoT. Yeah, and he's a strong believer in human advancement through tech. Yeah, and he's always championing for academic excellence, transformative leadership, and giving back to society, and also promoting value-centered life. Yeah, so we'll learn more about all our panelists as we go on. So so this is Kirinji Murungi, who's a systems engineer at Conzatec. So Kibinji, you can say hi to us.
Yes, Elizabeth. Hi, I hope you can hear me. Back again, just checking the mics are doing okay. Yeah, so
sure.
Pleasure to have me here.
All right.
Back to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, so that is those are the amazing engineers we have among us today. Yeah. So I think I'll just like dive right on into the agenda. So I think we'd all want to start off with there's maybe a Form 4 that has just finished high school and they want to choose a degree or major into engineering. So I think the first question I'd throw out there to you guys is how did you end up deciding your major? How did you end up deciding you want to take engineering, or what motivated you to want to take engineering after you are done with your Form 4? So maybe we can start with, Simon. You can tell us why you decided to get into engineering and which degree you took and how it has been for you.
Oh yeah, hey, thank you so much, Elizabeth. Well, I don't know how to start about this, but let me see. Well, in my early stages, while I was joining high school. Well, my interest was more inclined to medicine and stuff, but towards advancement, say from 2, from 3, I developed more interest with physics stuff, doing stuff to do with science congress and stuff. Yeah. So I mean, so that's why I would say that's where the interest really built in terms of engineering, because of more and more in terms of innovative ideas, participating in science congress. Well, yeah, even participating in the Nairobi International Trade Fair show, the famous thing that we all show under the Ministry of Education then, under Samuel Gary, I remember. So that's when after completing my high school, actually what's funny is that at Form 2, I was actually keen on taking mechatronics, because there's a colleague of mine who had actually cleared Form 4 earlier than me, who took the course at JQuad. So I was, okay, I think that's a good thing. So I researched about it and stuff to do with what. I mean, at the time, there was not much in terms of it on the internet and stuff. So that's where I got the interest to do with the engineering stuff. And lucky enough, I applied for Dedan Kimathi as my first choice, even before my revision and even after revision for mechatronic engineering. Yeah, and of course I was also lucky to get being admitted at the same university I had chosen. And that's how I actually transitioned from high school to doing engineering, and specifically mechatronics.
Oh, wow. Seems like the passion has started way.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's by chance that I got to mechatronics. I mean, it's by design, basically. Yeah, it was all under course.
All right. Sure. Nice. All right. So we can hear from Dr. Mulembo. You can let us know how you ended up in engineering and what made you decide on mechatronics, or what you majored in.
Okay. Can you hear me? So
yes.
In the panel, is it only mechatronic engineers?
No, it is not.
Okay, so just generally how I landed into my field.
Yeah.
So like just the same as Sami, I was into science club, maths club, things like that. So things like physics were interesting to me. We had electricity in our high school, aviation, things like that. So I was really inclined to those kind of engineerings. Yes, so as time goes by, when I went to Form 1 first, I wanted to become a priest. I was a lot in church things. Then time goes by, Form 2, I start to like maths, physics. So eventually at Form 4, just before we graduate, we finish high school, one of our physics teachers said, there's this course called mechatronic. So that's how I ended up applying it as my first choice. That was in JQuat. And yeah, that's how I got into mechatronic. Then after completing undergraduate, I remember I asked my chairman that time. That was my chairman that time was. So I asked my chairman. That was this PS Kibicho. It was my chairman that time. So I asked him, what can I do to become a professor? Then he said, you have to do masters and PhD and things like that. So that's how I got interested. So I went to the field 1 year. I was a solar engineer, solar and wind renewable energy. Then I came back. Now I got the opportunity to do masters. So that's when I got hired in the KUTS, and then I did my masters in JQuat. Basically, I was sponsored for my masters in JQuat. Then after finishing masters, now I was in the academia field. So in the academia field, you have to just continue PhD. After PhD, I did postdoctoral. I did some research a little with something to do with Boeing. Boeing had funded something, aerospace industry. And then that's how I came back last year after finishing postdoc in Japan. And after some time, then I became chairman. So currently I'm still chairman of mechatronic engineering. Thank you.
Oh, wow. That's quite a journey. All right. I think now we can hear from a non-mechatronic engineer. So Kirinji Murungi can tell us about your journey and how you ended up selecting your major.
Yes, yes, Elizabeth. I think mine, I will start back in 2nd of February 2019. Okay. That is the day I joined a school in the Mount Kenya forest called Ontulili Boys. I know so many of us don't know, but maybe Dr. Titus may be aware of it because it's there in Nanyuki. So, and when I joined, I went in the principal room, and then principal was telling us, who do you want to be? And that question had never hit me because I just wanted to go to high school and then get a good grade and of course do something meaningful. So for me, it was something meaningful and impactful. Sorry about the noise. So okay. When the principal asked me that, my dad was there. So I thought to myself, wow, what exactly, how meaningful can you be in Kenya? I thought of doctor, I don't know, but I didn't say doctor at that time. I said, because at that time there was quite a lot of political things happening. I said, I would like to be someone who can put judgment on people, especially when things are not going right. So the principal translated that and say, oh, so you want to be a judge, and then wrote a judge in the high school book for admission. And then life started. I went into class. From that time, Enzon, I always used to get physics 98, 96 from Form 1, just onset till the last exam I did in the mocks exam. I think the mocks I had like 96 or 94. But now in between here, a lot happened. I reached at a point where I was in Form 2 and felt, hey, what I said earlier, I didn't really mean it. And based on how Kenya is, I don't want to die early. So, and basically, it's not really worth it. I just dropped it. I thought to myself, now, near our home, there's a very prestigious guy there who is a doctor. And my dad usually talks much about that guy. So I can consider being a doctor. But I think there's the way doctors usually do things, procedural and such kind of stuff. So I don't know why, but I don't like things done that way. where there is no maybe randomness, creativity in between and such. So in between along the way, medicine died again. By the time I'm in third year, I got an opportunity, pardon me to take this long story. I think
Okay.
it will build a platform onto the next discussion. So
All
in third
right.
year, I got an opportunity to do computer. There's these computer packages that people usually do. So I went in a certain cyber cafe in Isiolo, and then I met a certain gentleman, a very nice one. We usually called him Major. And then I did computer packages. So to me, what surprised that guy is that he could give me assignments and then I could do them within minutes. Something that other students used to take like 2 days or maybe a whole day. I will do them in hours at some point, maybe. So, and to me, what really fascinated me is not what I was doing, but actually how that was my first time to interact with a computer. I interacted with my first computer in, I think, Form 3 around November there, October, November, when we went for the KCSE break. So after interacting with that computer, it get me curious and thinking, what actually happens? You click a button and then something happens. You do this, something happens. You do a calculation, something happens so awesomely. You go to YouTube, and then I went to YouTube at that time. That is the first time I registered for Facebook. And then curiosity builds up on me. It became too much to the point that now when I went to Form 4, I told myself that I will either do electrical engineering, electronics, or computers. But now electrical was just a build-up of the electronics because there is no electronics. And then I didn't want to do just pure computer science because people used to say it's more of a programming only. So I wanted to do something that has electronics into it and computers. And then now that is Form 4. At the time I'm joining Form 4, I'm now clear that based on what I got in my break in November, I'm very sure if I'll do engineering, I will actually build things that matter. That is one, and I will do things that are really impactful. And then fast forward, I did my KCSE. I performed well. Of course, I got good grades. And coming to do the choices again. Now, family came in. You have to choose medicine as your first option, or if not medicine, choose law because there is good money in law. And then number three, if not law, choose civil engineering because there is good money in roads and buildings. But I told them all these three things that you are telling me, if I'll do them, I will only rely on being employed by someone or maybe just going through a certain system that I don't really want. And then I told them I will do electrical engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, because I want to do something that I will enjoy, something that will quench my curiosity. And third, something that whether I get a job or not, I can stand tall and do my stuff. And then I applied all the four courses that the three mandatory, and then the other, I think three optional. All of them were engineering. All of them were engineering. And then I ended up in Moi, and then the story continued. Yeah. Back to
Oh,
you, Elizabeth.
nice.
I know I've taken a lot of time, but I think it is sometimes it's worthy. Ni bora kufanya, ni vizuri kufanya bora kuliko bora kufanya.
Yeah, yeah,
Back to you.
true. Okay, thank you. But you didn't mention the course you took, course options. So what did you finally end up taking?
Yeah, I think I've said electrical and
Oh, okay.
electronics
Oh, yeah. All
engineering,
right.
more
Okay.
university. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Wow. That's quite a stable base from our panelists. Seems like to most it was driven by passion. So now the next question is going to be based on I mean, we have some people that stumbled into the degree. Maybe you went and tried medicine and you're like, I can't do this. I can't withstand blood or something. And then now you end up deciding because you have the A or you have the good grade that can afford you something else, you decide to land into engineering. So And then now, then there's the other lot that has been like, okay, fine, I've always wanted to be an engineer, to be called an engineer, or just do engineering, maybe to scare people out there, to shock people out there that I'm an engineer. So, how do you go about now in your campus life? So, how did you guys go about just keeping the passion alive and making sure you're on the right course? So, like, did you engage in activities, try startups, or like, how was your campus experience like now as an undergraduate, and towards now achieving your goal, which is now this engineering degree and having a relevant skill at the end of the day? So I think we can start with Simon. You can tell us about your undergraduate experience and how you just tried keeping up the spirit.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I will say that okay. At the start, I mean, after joining, well, the university, I will say the first steps, rather, the introduction was rather unpleasant because that's not really what you would have expected from your perception in terms of, say, I thought I would be making stuff when I'm joining an engineering degree, but that's not the case. So then I thought, okay, let me concentrate on maybe getting more and more better grades and stuff to do with that. So that's around first year, second year, third year. Well, I will say I did find it quite interesting in terms of like preparing me in, say, even now, fast forward what I'm doing today, like especially on the hands-on and stuff to do with that. So, but fast forward to around fourth year now proceeding to fifth year. That's why again, some kind of shocker started hitting me. Well, because at that point I knew colleagues now and our degree who had actually completed, and I will see what they were doing. And of course, you will also meet with some of them who are actually, I would say, loitering still within the city, that still had not even gotten jobs. They were not very happy with the degree they did. And others were not even getting jobs for the same. And those who got the jobs, they were being paid peanuts. So I will say I was not actually, I would say, like, amused rather. The course didn't actually make me happy at the time. But then it's at that point I realized, okay, there are some side skills that are actually not taught in class and people are using actually to get some income with it. And that's why now my interest developed into what I'm doing today, because it's at that point I started learning PCB design, firmware programming. Then I was purely firmware and hardware design all the way from my now fourth year, fifth year. Now at fifth year now, we thought of, wow, let's revive the robotics club. Actually, when we were joining the university, our robotics club was very, very active at the time. But I don't know, maybe the lot that was there was not rather very friendly. So they would not teach us, say, per se. So now from there proceeding forward, the club was like, oh, it's like dead. So when we were at fifth year, now you are at the home. So you guys are the one that are responsible to take the university to the robotics competition. So it's at that point that we took the mantle and actually tried to revive the club. We started training the first year, second years, and other guys that were really interested. So again, now that's where I will say more interest into what I'm doing today that built or rather grown from. And actually, well, I don't think there is a group that with you, Elizabeth, and the others that actually found me there. But I think the previous two groups that left actually were some of the guys that we actually trained on robotics and stuff to do with that. So, and of course, after that, now after completing school, well, you find yourself, now I'm with this degree and stuff. I don't have anything to do. But again, I have the software and the hardware skills. Then I found that if I want to do a startup, or rather, if I want to be an innovator outside, it's very hard to do that because all the hardware things, if you want to be a producer of something or other, manufacturer, then you need a lot of money. Then that's where I thought, oh, I think I need to transition. Again, it's at that point now around 2018 there, 2018, 19. It's again when I started learning software programming. And that's when I started doing web development and stuff while still doing PCB design on the side that could actually assist me to do stuff. So in terms of generalizing or rather giving a whole summary about the university life in terms of career-wise nowadays, well, it was very important. There are some units that were very important that actually propelled me, or rather that gives me background in terms of what I'm doing today. But most of them, they were theoretically focused. I mean, they were just some things to sharpen you and open up your brain, but they are not really what I need outside now. I'm talking for my case, particularly maybe three or four units that have played a very critical role in what I'm doing today. Maybe like one particular unit that actually really helped me a lot is an elective, actually. It's an elective that we did in 5th year. I don't know, I think you guys no longer do it nowadays. It was signal and processing. That unit is mad stuff when you want to learn RF. Without that, I mean, it's very difficult for you to understand what's happening outside. So, and of course, some other basics in terms of electronics, analog, digital, and stuff. So, well, the university journey was good, but it was bad for me, I would say, because I was more academically oriented at first. It's later that I decided, let me deviate and spend now more time in building more skills. Because if I were to go back to the university, I would focus more on skills and spend less time probably doing classwork, and I will still pass. So there is no need, because outside here, what matters is the skills. So, I mean, that's the biggest takeaway. I will even give you students there who are there. I know we have a lot of time as students, but again, you don't want to listen. You think, oh, it will turn out good for me. Sorry for you. I mean, it turns out the same for all of us. I mean, the curve isn't any different for anyone. So focus on getting them skills, because no one will employ you and give you 100,000. No one. If you are under employment, even if you are doing an engineering degree, we are in sad times at the country per se, so don't wait for something like that. But if you are self-employed, you can scale a lot, and rather, if you have your own skills, you can also have some bargaining chip. So for you guys, as a parting shot, spend more time on gathering skills, pay for courses, use YouTube to learn more skills, use some spare time to watch Netflix and stuff, but also just balance and stuff to do with that. And you'll turn out okay once you graduate and stuff, yeah. So, and that's it for me.
Nice. Thank you, Simon. That's some good advice there. So we can hear from Dr. Mulembo, at least about your undergraduate in JKUAT, at least now a different campus this time.
Okay. So when I went to, after Form 4, I did computer packages like some there. And then I stayed 2 years before I entered university. That time everyone had to wait for 2 years. So I came from, although I schooled just nearby JKUAT, there Mangu High School. Then I went to home in Western, stayed for 2 years, came back to JKUAT, and then I just did my degree. I did nothing on the side. That time there was no internet, no YouTube, no nothing. Yeah, we were just after classes, just maybe watching movies or studying. So some of my friends from Nairobi, they were doing CPA, ACCA on the side, and they were doing, for example, I was doing mechatronics. So in addition to the basic degree of mechatronics, those degrees propel them. Some of them are directors of Vivo, Maersk, Transport, worldwide directors. So what I'm saying is, sometimes engineering is just an ingredient to something in your life. So for me, I just stuck purely because my parents did not know about these things, extra things that people could do. So at our time, it was mostly people are doing CPAs and SCCAs and things like that. So just for me, I stayed pure in my path. Yes, until now. I've not done anything on the side. Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that is someone's touch in academia. We can see that. Yeah. So Muriongi, you can tell us about your experience as an undergrad in Moi Uni.
Yeah, so thanks, Liz. I will pick where I left. I left at a point where I had selected the course. And then I got the offer around, I don't know whether it was May or something. And then the kind of spark and energy that I had to go and do this course, I couldn't wait until the admission in October 23rd. So in around August, I paid a visit to Moi University, a 2 weeks visit to Moi University. I knew my former high school alumni who were there, so I went meet them and stayed there. To my surprise, I don't know. I just wanted to be in this school. I just wanted to come and learn. And even before then, I was lucky to have gotten a laptop computer from the district. So they gave me a computer. And I would buy internet before joining school from around July there. I would buy internet connection and then go and download how to become an electrical engineer. So I had like 10 GB, 12 GB of content. I consumed that content. I knew everything that we will do in school from topic one to the last topic. I went to Moi University, downloaded the course content, had the course content in my computer, and then went 2 weeks there. So when the second years were doing their workshop, and then when now it was time to join again, based on the passion that I had and the way I wanted to be in that kind of environment, I wouldn't wait till 23rd. I left home on around 18th, and then I stayed in Eldoret, Chepkoilel at that time, the University of Eldoret. From around 19th, 20th, and then 23rd, I went to registration. And then at that time now, because I knew most of the things, unlike my fellow classmates, so when it's time to do class rep, nainua mkono. I want to be one because I know how that will propel me. And then fast forward, when we started classes, I knew what we will do. So I would focus more into classwork. And then something else I picked before joining school was, you always need to have mentors in school, and you always need to have, to talk to 50 years and 40 years and such kind of guys. So immediately I joined the school, the first week, I was looking for 4th years and 5th years just to talk to these people. How has the experience been? How have you been surviving? How is this? How is that? So first year, I spent my time learning. And to your surprise, I think what both of my panelists have said, kama kuna mwaka nilisoma. I have to say this in Swahili so that it can make sense. Kama kuna mwaka nilisoma. Aki ya nani? Hata Mungu anajua. It's first year. I have to put it that way. So I have to put it that way so that it can make sense. Kama kuna mwaka nilisoma, ni first year. So while in first year, I will sleep for like 5 hours. I will spend like 1 hour, 2 hours with 4th years and 5th years, just asking them questions, getting mentorship from them, and doing work, being in the library and doing work. Ningesoma to the point that naingia exam, I know almost everything. So I will do questions. Unapata hii question inakuja 12 out of 14. You cancel that. You do the one that you see. It has like 13 out of 14 marks, something like that. But to my surprise, 4th years and 5th years usually used to tell me that don't be surprised. You may go to an exam and then you are expecting to get 90, and then you will just get 58 or 62 or just 68. But for you to get 70 and above, hey, bro, you will have to pray to God and to pray that all odds be on your side. And then I was telling them, no, you guys, Bana, we are smart. We come here to do engineering. We are smart and such kind of things. And then to my surprise, results came first year. And then I had like, I think 67, 68. And that thing really broke me. Now, combining the results plus the experience I had gotten from fifth years and fourth years who are doing some other hands-on stuff and they were building solutions. Some of them were running startups, among other things. That thing just gave me a very smooth turnaround. I didn't wait like Simon to go up to fourth year or third year there. For me, I took a turn from second year. From second year, I told myself, now I will be going to class, but 60, 70% of my time I will use into building skills, building network, building connection, doing things that matter. I want to be an awesome engineer. So that's what I usually keep on telling myself. And then fast forward second year, an opportunity came for the robotics thing that Simon is talking about, the robotics competition. I had a choice, either to drop my exams or do exams and miss the competition. I told myself, I think this is the one chance that I've been waiting for, just to go into a place that I feel most comfortable in. So I said, I won't do exam. If that is what will cost my life, let it be. But I will do this. I will participate in this competition. I went into the competition. And then, to my surprise, when I went in, I told the guys that, guys, I'm coming in, but just know this, I will not give you anything. I will not, I'm not here to give you any skills, but I'm here to learn. And I feel that if I'm with this team, I can actually make an awesome engineer by the time I'm in fifth year. By the time I'm in fifth year. So these guys laughed and then told me, in fact, we need someone like you who can come and actually challenge us. So I told them, if you want someone to bring you water, call me. If you want someone to kupepeta when you are sweating, call me. But in return, I want you to teach me and I want you to give me all the nitty-gritties of this stuff that we are doing. Fast forward, we did the project. We went to Nairobi. I was very happy. We got like an allowance of around 25,000. All that money, I used it to buy Arduino kits, all those things, all of it. I used that money to buy those stuff. And then when coming back to school, of course, I sat the exam alone because I was the only second year working with fourth years and fifth years. There was no third year. And then at that time, kama ni kuinvigilatiwa, you are seated there with your lecturer. Wewe na yeye, you are doing your exams. I did my exams again in second year. I passed, but I didn't pass as the way I passed in first year. I got, I think, around 63, 62 there. I can't remember well. And to me, I said, if I can do projects, focus on all these things and then get this, I think I'm okay. This is enough for me. So I went in third year. Again, the intensity grew. So in third year, I was madly in love with things to do with skills and all that. And this is now where the reality starts to hit you. You are in school, but you are more concentrated in other things, unlike what brought you in the School of Engineering. And to me, third year was the hardest year. Let me say this, engineering is tough. And even if you are tough, you always need to study. Because some of these things, you will not just get into the class and then, like history, where you can just say, what affected Mau Mau, you put the normal 7 or 8 points. Engineering, you have to focus, you have to learn. And that is the first time I started to get some bad things about engineering. I would go to class, siski kusoma. I'm just feeling as if I'm wasting time. I'm losing myself. I don't know, just things start to happen before I realize I'm really deep into depression. I'm stressed. I'm not focusing in my classwork. By the time I'm doing my third year exams, truth be told, I will just enter into class like 20, 30 minutes later, after the exam has started, take a paper, just write whatever I feel like writing. And then like 20, 30 minutes, I'm done with the exam and then just leave. I don't know. That is the worst moment that I had in campus. That led me to the point that I got a couple of supplementaries. And to my surprise, I never even used to worry about them. You see that don't care attitude. Eh? You seem like you don't care, but you care the most. Eh? You really want to be an engineer. This is the only journey, but you pretend as if you don't care. So I don't know. I just felt as if I was losing it. This is the love of my life. This is what I love. This is the thing. This is what runs in my blood. I really feel I need this. But the system that we are in, I feel as if I'm just wasting time and all that. So I went into my third year. The results came. I had like, I don't know, 5 soups or something. Because most of those exams I could just enter. I think you can attest to my classmates. Some of them, if they are here, I could just enter into a class, just do 20 minutes, and then I get out of that class. Fast forward, third year came, and then I felt now I really need to drop out of this school. I think I'm now wasting time. There is no need for me just to be going to class and then just doing exams. After saa zingine, a lecturer comes and tells us this is an open book, but I wouldn't even open that book. I will just sit down, do the cut. Even if it's an open book, I'll just sit down and do the cut and then just leave. Hata kama ni open book, whether najua ama sijui, I'll just do it from my head and then leave. So that thing really affected me. I went to a point that when the results third year came, I performed poorly. I think I had like around 50 something. So to me, that really meant that I will no longer continue with this course. But something that I did, and I always tell God, thank you for giving me that wisdom, is that I told myself, instead of dropping out, let me take 1 year off. I go focus on building a company. At that time, I started CAMSAB at that time during that journey. I started CAMSAB. I went to register CAMSAB that time. And then after that, I told myself, instead of dropping out, let me take 1 year off. And within this 1 year, I want to build skills. I want to build CAMSAB, and I want to read psychology. Why do I want to read psychology? I want to read psychology so that I can understand myself. Kwani hii class yote, hii shule yote, am I the only one who is different? Because when I talk to my classmate, I'm the only one. I'm the odd one out. They don't seem to understand me. Hawaelewi. When I tell them skills, wananiambia kijana wewe umechizi. We need to pass exams. If I tell them I don't really need to copy exam, wananiambia wewe umechizi. We need to copy exams so that we can pass. Mimi nawaambia, by the way, you can pass without copying. Wananiambia no. We have to copy so that you pass. Nawaambia no, bana. We can, and then there's no need to copy exam. If you are meant to get 80, just get plain 80. If you are meant to get 50, just get plain 50 without copy. So for me, I happened to find myself in that cocoon where I was the only one. Nilikama tu nilikuwa tu a stranger. Outcast, if I'll say so. I was an outcast in Moi University. Lecturers hawanielewi. My friends kwanza hao sasa ndio wananiona nimechizi. Classmates wanaona huyu ni loser, don't be close to this guy. He will send you to hell, because if you follow him, you will start to get noticed by teachers and such. Sorry about, I'm taking quite a lot of time, but and then fast forward, I took that 1 year off.
Try cut it short a bit.
Yes. I took that 1 year off. I went into YouTube psychology classes, doing personality tests and all that. And then now coming back to 4th year, I had found my space in IEEE. I said I'll come back, but I will focus more into IEEE. And then in 4th year, I started to petition IEEE. IEEE came in, IBM came in. I got my first contract with IBM. And then 4th year, before 4th year was over, I had traveled to Europe, came back, went to US, came back. By the time I'm joining 5th year now, all that pressure has subsided. I was now fit in the engineering. I knew my space. I could go to class. I will do my skills and all that. So everything was coming together. But all that came at the expense of me taking 1 year off, and also at the expense of me being hit hard by the depression to the point that I will sit down alone, stay in my hostel for a month alone without anyone. Even my roommate, I wasn't talking to my roommate about that. So that is the worst experience. But to me, that was the best thing that really built me to the person I am today. Yes, I'll leave it at that. Back to you, Liz.
Oh wow. I feel like that story about how the degree gave you some character development kind of is relatable to many. So there's hope for us about recovering at the end of the road, I hope. So I think now that actually that story now takes us to our next point, which is we have guys who are like about to finish campus or just recently graduated, and there are so many paths to follow. Like for you, like a practicing engineer in an industry, and then we have for Simon who decided to go the entrepreneurship way and freelancing, and then we have Dr. Mulembo who took the path for academia. Um, so I think that I'll combine that with mentorship. So did you have mentors that guided you into your different transitions, and how relevant do you feel, or would you say they had a huge impact in your career decision after you graduated and got your degree? So I think we can start with Dr. Mulembo.
I thought maybe you start with Sam.
Well, yeah, okay.
Simon. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
Titus. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I mean, it's only fair. Okay. Well, I would say for a mentor, specifically mentor, I would say no. I haven't had a mentor. But I would say a role model, I would say not really like a role model, but actually what I had him say. So I would say I draw my motivation from a lot of people, even in different fields. So, but mostly one of the things that actually have guided me through is, and what guided me there after campus is just some few lines I'm going to tell you from here. It's the guy said that, that all you need, that after clearing your degree, that all you need is, if you have people who are like-minded with you, you can start together, form a group, and you start developing yourself. And actually, what you need is just some food and a place to live, because you don't have anything else to risk. And with those particular words, actually, I just needed that, get everything that I need, and then come outside and face the world. Basically that. And of course, for you as well, guys, when you complete school, or even now, even that you've not completed, what you just need is food and a place to live. You have your gadgets, use that, motivate yourself. Actually, those words are from Elon Musk, that actually just said that. It was in an interview I was watching on YouTube. So what you need is just food and a place to live. Those are the words that propelled me. And actually, with that, in terms of mentorship and stuff, with that, that's it.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah, so now Dr. Mulembo, you can tell us about your journey and, post-graduation.
Okay, so at first, I would say, I pointed out earlier that I went to the industry. So there are three paths you can follow. You can go to industry, you can go to academia, you can go to industry to be employed, or you can be an employer, like an entrepreneur, like we have here. So those are major three paths you can do. So first I went to industry, then I realized the way my brain works, probably, I was more of a creative person. Though I'm not creative like an entrepreneur, I'm a creative like a researcher. I just want to research and get new information. So I felt like I'm not just someone there to make things. I want to invent things. So that's how I ended up back to academia field. Of course, it is a super long journey. I've been in school for so long, until I ended up even being the first person with a postdoctoral in my field in mechatronics in Kenya.
Oh, wow,
So,
congratulations.
yes, so it's a path which took a lot of sacrifice. For example, money. We don't think about money. We think about finishing the goal. So number two, you don't think about relationships. So no marriages, no girlfriends, nothing. So number three, you have to tell yourself, like, you have to delay gratification. Like, uh, let's say cars will still be there in the future. Wives and money will still be there in the future. Land will still be there in the future. So I went under, forgot about all those things. And that's how I came out to be what I am now. Thank you.
Oh, wow. I'm liking how you all took different paths, at least for the different personalities and different people we have here. I think that is quite motivating to hear. So Kipinji, you can tell us about how your post-graduation and you ended up landing at Konza, hopefully, but in a shorter time.
Yeah. So after coming out of Moi, May 11, I had an opportunity again to travel to Italy. I went to Italy for a week and then came back. Coming back, I had an opportunity again to join Safaricom Alpha, the innovation side of Safaricom. I went there for like 4 months. What we are doing basically is product development. And then after doing that for 4 months, IBM opportunity came in. I went to IBM 6 months. After 6 months, around 2020 February 14th, the contract ended during the Valentine's. And then I was out. Corona started coming in, and with a big buzz, and things rolled on up to around September, October, where I got again an invite to work on a project with ICTA, where we were doing digital devices, redesigning the laptops, the tablets, which are supposed to be used in the DLP program. We were to do 3 months. We ended up doing 1 month plus more of remote work. The project died within 3-4 months. In year 2021, again, you remember what I started in 2017, building CAMSUB. It had now revived, and I was now looking into building solutions. And then an opportunity came where I saw Visca advertising for systems engineers to work in a smart city environment. So at that time, I was preparing a research presentation that I was to do in US. So I just went in and said, I think I'm preparing a presentation in smart cities, but getting an opportunity to be actually in the smart city for even 1 year or 2 years while I'm working on this kind of research and trying to understand this ecosystem, it can really be nice. And then that's how I applied to join Visca. Little did I know that joining Visca was my journey, was my path to join Konza. Joined Konza, and I've been there now for 11 months exact. Today is on 16th. Yes, tomorrow I'll be clocking in 11 months exact. Yes, so the journey has been good, quite a lot of learning. Now I get to see what it calls for you to build things that matters, what it calls for you to build things big beyond your view, what it calls for you to build things that will make impact in a country, things that will make impact in the next 20, 30, 40 years to come. Yeah, that's my journey. Thank you very much. Back to you, Liz.
Okay, thank you. Wow, I'm really enjoying hearing these stories from all of you. So this is to the audience. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat box area. We'll have them answered at the end. So I'll just ask this now to like a 1 minute maximum response for this. So tell us about a day in your life, in your career at the moment. What happens? who do you interact with? What do you learn? What challenges do you face? Yeah. So can start with Simon.
Oh, okay. Oh, lovely. Well, a day in my career is, well, I wake up. Well, probably previously the last day, maybe I had a request to do some design. Okay, yeah, my daily work is based on design, programming, and programming. So either I received a request or that I have several. So assuming I just wake up, have the next project to work on. So start my research, open my design tools, start working on it. And of course, I've now been doing this, say, for several years now, such that research work is very minimal. So like anything you want me to solve, if it's a design project, I will not research, I'll just start doing it. Maybe even have a lot of references for it. So just design, complete the project. If it take me maybe 8 hours or maybe 2 days, then deliver to whoever it may concern. Yeah, and do that the next day, a different project, maybe relax the next day, and the cycle continues. Yeah, so I'm just on my laptop designing or programming any day, anytime.
Nice. Then Dr. Mulembo, tell us about your day in, your day in your career.
By day, you mean 8 to 5, right?
Yes, or however
Not like
long it spans,
not the
depending on
Elon
the
Musk,
job.
not the Elon Musk 4 a.m.
Oh, wow. Well, if it starts there.
No, I'm not in the 4 a.m. club. So let's just say I wake up maybe around 7 or 8, 7, because probably, let's say I wake up at 7. Then because my kind of day involves 3 things. Involves, for example, administration, being a chairman. It has some things to do. Teaching, I lecture classes, master's, PhD, undergraduate. It has stuff to do, reading and preparing and things like that. And then there is research. I'm doing research with my collaborators, let's say in Japan, PhD students, undergraduate students, conducting seminars. I have students I'm supervising, undergraduate students, several groups I'm supervising projects. So we are just talking about basically work, not personal life. So let's say 8 to 5 or something. So basically mine is like super random, since I make my own day. I'm not like, so I have to see how I respond up to management, maybe meetings, deans, things like that. How I respond to my fellow staff, communication, WhatsApp, I chat them, call them, do this, do that, check my email. Then I have to deal with 500 students in the department. People might start texting you, calling you, I have this problem. Yeah, so it's my day starts on bed, on my phone. Then transition, come to school, maybe at around 9 or 10, 11, deal with people in the ground, talk to people, talk to technologists in the lab, talk to every lecturer, I have like 100 tasks to do. Remember, there's also teaching and there's research. So by the time I'm done with that, by 5 o'clock, I am so wasted. After that, I just go and I do exercise, like a 2-hour walk or a drink or something, as I still continue to work on my phone and communicating with people until at night, when I sleep around 10, maybe 11 or 12. So my whole day is just basically, all those 3 things that I'm doing. So of course, remember that life is not just about work. There's also health, there's also family, there's also other things that you need to jipanga. Yeah. So I try to balance all that in my day. Of course, some are not doing well. Some are prioritized, some are deprioritized, some will be prioritized later in the future. Okay, thank you.
Okay. You've mentioned something that is now off work, so which would have been my next question. Maybe you can just tell us. So, what are your hobbies, or what do you engage into just now for take a break from work?
Okay, so most of my life I know I'm a human being. I did not choose this body. So you have to, life is not just about books. Books just came recently, there's your life. So I try to maintain a balance. For example, most of when I was in campus, masters, even PhD, I've been a competitive swimmer. I've swum even for Kenya team, world
Oh
championships.
wow.
Yeah. So, but that one is mostly for fun, to keep my head straight so that I don't get nuts, all this reading. Yeah. Then, yeah, I can say just on this outside work, I'm into hobbies like swimming. But now recently, after Corona and things like that, I can't do that much. So basically, I just try to take a walk or chill with people after work and talk, just chilling, you know. Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
okay. Thank you so much. So Kirinji, you can tell us about your a day in your life at work, yeah, and also your hobbies, what you do off work.
Um, yeah, so I think I'm more like Dr. Titus. I'm not a morning person. Things to do with 5, eh? I'll rather stay up to 5 a.m., but not wake up at 4 or 5. But again, please, again, don't be carried out with this 5 a.m. club thing. It's more or less like saying you want to be carried and become an industry person and you're not, or an academia person and you're not, or an entrepreneur and you're not. So there's none which is good than the other, so long as you spend your times well. So I like to start my day at around 7. If I'm to go to office, around 8 or 8:30. And for that reason, you will get to know how some other decisions that come in between, how they affect that. So around 7, I wake up and then take a very cold shower. I normally don't do warm showers. I do cold
Okay.
shower. Whether it's raining or not, I will do cold shower and then prepare myself, take my breakfast, and then go to work. While there, there is always a pre-planned work that I will do. In most cases, I don't plan things while I'm there or while I wake up. I have things planned that I know I will work on them today, tomorrow, this week, this month, such kind of stuff. And when something comes up, it keeps on being added in that line of priorities, shifting priorities and all that. So while I'm in office, I just get there either Monday. Previously, we've been doing Monday, Tuesdays, and then Thursdays. And then recently, we have started to do 4-5-3-4-5 days with that kind of shift. So I will look into it while I'm in office, while I'm at home, and while I'm in the field. So in most cases, I will be in office. The second time I'm not in office, I'll be at home. If I'm not at home, I will be visiting projects. So apart from Konza that we fully support, we also have the other projects that the partners that we support in building the Konza ecosystem. Of course, with Visca and other sister companies. So while I'm there, of course, it's all about either research, you are doing something, or you are finalizing on a work that was supposed to be done. You are working with consultants in India. So there are some things which are already predetermined. We always have meetings on Thursdays. We have DC meetings on DC, that is data center meetings on Monday. We have innovation meetings on around Wednesday, Thursday. We have smart cities discussions around Wednesdays or Tuesdays. So there are already things that are predetermined. That is mostly what will take part of the better part of my day. And then usually in between there, I normally take some breaks. I'm a person who works like, let's say 2 hours, and then you take a little break, whether it's on the desk or outside. And then after 5, I normally don't leave office immediately after 5, because now at 5, that is when now my personal work starts. So I have talks, I have classes I'm doing, I have courses I'm doing, I have projects I'm doing, and then I will maybe do that up to around 7 or 6. But that schedule is not really strict, but I always do something up to that point. And then I normally do cycling. So like what Dr. Titus is saying about swimming. So for me, I do cycling. And I do cycling for so many reasons in Nairobi. Number one, it's conveniency. Number two, it's that kind of, you have been seated, there's quite a lot of pressure in you. And when you are cycling, you have to focus. You have to focus. You have to forget about office. You have to forget about all that thing. And you have to focus because you are on the road. And if you don't focus, things may happen wrongly. So that is what I do in the evening while I'm going home. I can even take a very long route so that I cycle hard, I sweat, I get myself bruised to the point that when I get home again, it's either a shower or just get into some other business. So I normally get home around 6 to 8, depending on how things have gone. And then when I get home, I normally take 1 hour or 1-2 hours, depending on how the day has been. I have a small daughter, around 1.5 years. So I normally take time to play with her. We will dance in the room there. We will do funny things. And then after that, I will get into meetings. There are a couple of projects I'm doing, personal projects, IEEE projects. I will get into meetings. I will get into doing stuff up to around 12 or 1. So my normal sleeping time is either 12, which is the earliest, or the optimal time is 1. So I will sleep at that time, knowing that I've fixed most of the stuff, and then I will get to rest to prepare for the next day. In the evening also, at some point, I always take power naps in the evening. So it's not really a wonder to find me sleeping around, if I'm at home, sleeping at around 12, 8, 2, or even 4. Yeah, that's what keeps me going. Thank you. Back to you, Liz.
Oh, nice. Thank you. So Simon, you can tell us your hobby as you answer one of these questions that is in the. Can see you're engaging guys in the chat. So there's someone who's asked, this question goes to Dr. Mulembo and Titus. Yeah, okay, it has disappeared in the chats. All right, sorry, I'll just, yeah, you can tell us about your hobbies, and then, yes, what are you
Okay.
currently trying to learn or do? Yes, that.
Hobbies. Okay, hobbies. I would say traveling and maybe watching. I don't know. Watching, mostly I would say watching and maybe traveling. I mean, I enjoy driving on the road and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
watch football maybe at times. Yeah, well, what I'm trying to do or learn, I would say more to like do is, well, I want to scale more. I think you guys who have been on the group and stuff. So I want to go more into, to divert more into teaching the whatever we are doing. So, and develop more and more courses. So I mean that's probably what is currently on my mind. And maybe also, yeah, and maybe learn some different frameworks for programming. Maybe, yeah, there's something else that I'm trying to learn. Yeah, I mean, when you're a programmer, there are always new trends. So there's some new frameworks that I'm also trying to learn mostly. Yeah, it's about, say, more of programming and more of scaling in terms of building courses and teaching. That's what I'm currently doing, or other learning and stuff.
Ah, nice. And Dr. Mulembo, what are you currently learning or, yeah, doing?
Okay, I'm answering just now.
Okay,
So,
all right.
what is the exact question?
Mhm. Oh, sorry. Yeah, what are you currently trying to learn or do? It could be anything. Just
Many things, but you can't do
okay.
everything at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, what I realize what is important is mindset. After reaching the highest level of degree of engineering in research field, like this one, postdoctoral, I realized it's sort of, I can't say vanity, but it's not all the skill you need out here. That's just technical. You need to relate with people. So I did psychology for 2 years, just like Gizinji.
Oh wow.
Uh, yes. So that psychology has paid off. Of course, I understand myself. Maybe I'm a good leader or manager. I don't know. I understand how to relate with people, how to maneuver on a lot of things, and now I'm applying it in real life. So psychology is one of the things I've been doing a lot. Secondly, I've been reading, trying to read a lot of books, but time has not been on my side. Like those 20 books that a man should read, So
Mm-hmm.
also, I've been more on academic all my life. So I want to start doing hands-on things. For example, I want to go to a car garage. I have a friend who's a mechanic for 1 month to just teach me how to fix a car so that I don't get conned by fundis and I can, yeah. I have learned how to draw houses and build houses by myself on YouTube, thanks to some card I learned in engineering and things like that. So I try to challenge myself to do a lot of things outside. I want to do, since I can't swim anymore this year much, I want to get into boxing, sort of to get some form of mental discipline, the same way someone can, let's say, join army for some months to get some form of mental discipline. So basically, I'm working on mindset. I think mindset is the most important thing in life right now. But other things like how you land into this, how you land into that, has to do a lot with other factors like luck and things like that, intelligence. So for me, what I can work on, what I can control is mindset. So that's what I've been working on recently. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Thank
Nice.
you.
I think I'd also want to hear what Kithinji is learning. So Kithinji, what are you learning or trying to do at the moment?
Oh yes, Liz. I'll say I'm building three stuff into my life. Number one is the technical bit. I'm more going into product development deeper and deeper, trying to understand how to build, how to structure from idea to the full-fledged product out there in the market. So with that, I'm doing more in the technical side, where I'm doing courses in design and technical designs also. And apart from that, I'm learning more into the entrepreneurship. I have a couple of courses running, And number three, I've also realized that so many people keep on complaining, oh, engineers are these, engineers are that, they don't know these soft skills and all that. So I'm also, when I'm free, I will also look into 1 or 2, 3 books here that I have in my pile, so that to look into those kind of stuff. Because as Dr. Titus has said, and even Simon mentioned, is that when you focus on being a very technical person, you can only remain to be that engineer who just fixes things. But you can't really go beyond that. But again, when you focus on maybe the management or maybe the business side, you can only go that route and not understand the other side. But now, how do you build everything pole pole as you climb the ladder to the top? All what I'm doing, all what I'm learning, I'm focused on being at the top of my game. of either focusing on building a full-fledged startup or a company, among other things. I think I would like also to mention this, that there's some mindset and perception that people have. Now that we are talking, two of us, the three of us, I am from an employed kind of an environment where we are doing consultancy. It's not really employment per se, where you have everything covered. And then we have Simon, and then we have Dr. Titus. And then someone will ask you, which is the best place to be? I always say there is no best place to be. The best place can only be defined by you, and the best path can only be defined by you. There are people who are naturally designed to be entrepreneurs. And those people, they get into companies, they start fighting with everyone because people don't understand the way entrepreneurship works. It's very chaotic, and especially if you have the mindset of a startup, it's very chaotic. And when you come with that mindset in a corporate where everything is set up, there is protocol, things take 100 years to happen, then there is so much wrangle. If maybe you focus on academia, there's the way things work in academia, and that's why as a student, don't be carried out by this thing. When someone comes and tells you, oh, I'm an employee, I've grown into ranks within 5 years, I've been here, and then you want to follow that path, then probably you are someone who is meant to be in academia. Or maybe you're someone who is meant to be in academia and you want to be in a certain environment. The first thing I will say, as Dr. has said, just understand yourself, and then jijue tu wewe mwenyewe, and then don't have pressure of wanting to fit in something that you think maybe it has a lot of money, all your friends are going there, and maybe it's not meant for you. So that is what I'm trying to put together. Maybe as this wind up, I'm also thinking on doing graduate studies, but now graduate studies focused on industries. I have a lot of stuff happening in US, Europe, and Australia, and I wouldn't mind being in US specifically or Europe for a graduate study. But when I'm there, I'm coupled with a company that I've been engaging with, so that I learn as well as be in the industry. Why is this important? Please allow me to mention these. Companies like Apple, Tesla, SpaceX, and all these companies. These companies are not there because they manufacture or they do what they do. They are there because the researchers like Dr. Titus are really making bold moves into patents and such kind of things. And then engineers now, scientists like Dr. Titus, they build all that theory, they build all that material kind of thesis and all that, and then they pass it now to the engineers, and then engineers now build that into products, and then they are taken into market. That's how companies like IBM, companies like Google, companies like Apple are really making bold moves. And then we here in Africa, we are carried by this wave of we need to be engineers and fully focus in doing hands-on stuff. And then you forget the only thing you can do is build companies that will die when you die. But when you want to build things that last, you have to capitalize on the whole chain. Start with the scientists, and then let the scientists pass the knowledge to engineers, engineers to technologists, technologists to craft, and on and on and on and on. And that is the kind of vision I have for myself as well as to the people that surrounds me. Back to you, Liz. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, back to you.
I think at Musanga you're speaking, you're on mute. I had a question. Big tech companies like Google, Apple, as you said, they are currently like maybe not asking for degrees. What's your take on that?
I don't know. I've not gotten your question, yeah? Would you mind, please?
Yes, I was asking, big tech companies like Google, Microsoft, and maybe Apple aren't asking for degrees these days. What's your take on that?
I happen to be one of the pioneers of something IBM calls new collar jobs. I joined IBM as an intern for 6 months. Let me put it clear. And it's not like these companies don't need degrees. They need things that matters. They need things that matter. There is the only position you can come in without a degree, which is maybe developer, which only needs specific skill. But when you come in, probably for you to grow to management level, among other things, there are things that you need. You need maybe to go to business school so that you can grow to that management level, executives and all that. There are those ones who don't go that route, but it becomes very hard for them to grow to the top. Another thing, you see, what we are doing when we say these companies don't really require a degree is you are going for the job that really needs that skill alone. But you're not really going deeper into other things. A very good example is Dr. Titers and scientists will build patents, will build theories, will test machines in theory. And then as a developer, you will now come and build that. So let's not mistake when these companies say they don't really require degrees. They don't require degrees on specific things that require people to do. A very good example here is when you want someone to build a road, or maybe unataka mtu akulimie shamba. You don't need that person to come and tell you nimelima ama nini. No, mtu anaweza kuja na kuambia I've been doing this for this duration of time, and now you know that person is experienced. So to the point, they are looking for experience. But again, you have to look at it. If you want to be in that line of thought forever, then you can focus on building that skill set, and then you can stick with that. But let me tell you for sure today, the most paid people in industries are scientists and researchers and very senior engineers who knows their craft. Those are the well-paid people. If you want to talk about money, those are the well-paid people. IBM pays researchers about an average of 1.2-ish million. Those guys who you will hear them talk about quantum, those people who will hear them talk about blockchain at the background, not now on the side where you are using the interface. So again, when you are paid maybe 400,000 or 500,000, you think that is big because you don't have a degree. But probably if you spend 2 or 3 years to get that degree or something else, you can still get that 500. And within a duration of 5-10 years, you can get to a point of where you are getting 2 million, just a mention per month. Yes. Maybe I'd like to mention that as I close the session. Back to you, Liz.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I'd broken off a bit. I thought the session had ended. Okay. Thank you so much for that. So this question now goes again to all of you. So what career mistakes have you seen most people do when it comes to putting the degree and skills to practice, or like picking the various paths? Is it, be it academia, entrepreneurship, or employment? And what is something that you wish you'd done better or would want to tell us as student engineers or as young engineers out there? So we can start with you, Simon.
Well, please, will you repeat that last part?
All right. What career mistakes have you seen most people do when it comes to putting the degree to practice, and what advice would you give what do you wish you'd done better, and what advice would you give to this the young engineers or the student engineers out there, maybe so that they don't fall in the same mistakes?
Okay, I don't know if your question is what I would have done better before, or it's about like the various field, or rather, how does one identify a particular specialization field to join in? I don't know. I'm
Okay.
getting lost in between your question.
All right. Okay. What would you have done better, or and what advice do you have for guys trying to pick a path or just venture into engineering now, the real world?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've mentioned this before, and I mean, I will still emphasize on the same that what I would have done better before is more of investing my time on learning more skills that are actually trending. Yeah, so that's essentially what as an engineer is. And the next thing is specialization, specialize and specialize. Yeah, that just ensure that you are master in one skill. Then you can also know a bit of the others as well. It actually pays and comes in handy. So those are the two things. And of course, about preference, or rather, if someone asked me that, what other field you've joined if you're not doing this, I will say it's about, well, the engineering field is very wide, and especially talk of electrical and programming, electronics and programming, but it boils down to preference. You'll find that, well, I'll say that you'll find that someone like me is more interested in RF stuff and communication, maybe in power systems and stuff to do with IoT. You'll find someone is more interested in audio stuff. You see, then we are still doing the same engineering. Like I'm not more into audio and stuff to do with that. So it's about preference, and all the fields are fine. They are fantastic. So preference, there is nothing like best. Best programming language, none. Best design tool, none. It's about preference. They all get the job done. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so what I will say is for most of the students is that don't be fooled by other people that who tell you that, oh, unasoma hii haitumikangi siku hizi. So I mean that's actually wrong. So just stick with that if you are really interested in it, and probably you'll get somewhere. Yeah? So thank you so much.
Nice, nice. Dr. Mulembo, what is something that you should have done earlier, and what advice would you give to young engineers out there?
Okay. Just I only have one advice, or two. 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours. If you put 10,000 hours to anything, even if it's selling charcoal, you'll become top 10 best, and you'll become the problem solver, and other things will follow you, whether it's money or something. So basically, my only word is whatever you do, believe in that course and put in 10,000 hours, and it will result to something in whatever you do, even if you're selling paper.
Wow. Okay. That sounds very, very interesting. I'd want to. I hope I'll be able to try the 10,000 hours. Yeah. So Kirinji, what is something that you wish you'd done better, and what advice would you give to young engineers and student engineers out there?
So there's someone who has asked me, what can you do if you'll find yourself in third year? And I will tie that to the question you had asked about career mistakes that most undergraduates make. Number one, I will say it's fear. We are always afraid of losing friends. We are always afraid of making mistakes, and we are always afraid of failure. And especially, this goes to smart people, especially engineers. these people who are doing computer science, these people who are doing technical courses, these people are the smartest. They will always be the smartest in the room. And if there's something, even Daktari will tell us, if there's something that scares everyone, is failure. No one likes failure. No one, no one. In fact, if you are to remove failure in everything, today we could be having Elon Musk here in Kenya, 20, 30 millions of them. But because of failure and because of fear of failure, then we limit ourselves to small stuff. So I will say number one is fear. It doesn't matter whether you are afraid of failure in maybe going into something that you believe you don't really know much, or you are afraid of maybe failing your colleagues or your parents or all that. Number two is following masses. It's saa zingine ni poa. Have friends, have colleagues, have family, have people tell you whatever, but masses are always wrong. Masses are always wrong. Masses are always wrong. And in fact, if it's just a psychology or a philosophical move that everyone is following, in most cases, there will be some wrong things happening somewhere. So following masses will always lead you into career mistakes, because you will hear there is a buzz, the best tech, you go there. The best thing is to be a PhD, you go there. The best thing is to be in the industry, you go there. But you see, you are not really meant for that. And then lastly is about the 10,000 hours that Dr. Titus has mentioned. Nowadays, there is something which is called a quick gratification, which is always killing so many of us. You want to graduate today, and tomorrow you want to have a Mercedes Benz. And that, I liked what Daktari said. Daktari said, shambas will come, cars will come, everything. As a matter of fact, if you follow your journey, it doesn't matter how long it will take. You will have a beautiful husband or wife, an handsome husband or a beautiful wife. You will have kids, you will have money, you will have job. All these things will come, but you have to put in the work. So sometimes all we need is quick things, quick fix. And these quick fix, they will either end you in career mistakes, or maybe end up putting you in a very compromised position. And something else, why career mistakes? It's because you don't know yourself. So you are waiting for Kithinji to come and tell you, by the way, Liz, you look like someone who can go and do PhD. Or you look like someone who can be a very good startup founder like Simon. Or you look like someone who can actually build a community like so and so. So you're waiting for someone to come and tell you who you are, and then you start working on that, only to realize he was wrong, because you are the one who knows yourself. And at some point, they say, know what you want. It's hard, but at least when you know what you want, you can even sacrifice money for experience so that you can get money later. But if you don't know what you want, you don't know who you are, you will just be carried by the wave, here and there, here and there. By the end of the day, you will end up not achieving anything. Lastly, work and sacrifice towards whatever you want. Nothing comes easy. Daktari has told you it has taken him so many years to be in school. Simon, the same thing. I will tell you the same thing. For you to build something worthwhile, it will take you time. It will take you time. And lastly, have a plan. Have a good plan. You better plan and fail, but fail to plan and still fail. Because the plan I'm talking about is, yes, today you've heard about the discussion we've been having. What is your 1 year plan? In fact, what is your 1 day plan? What is your 1 week plan? 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? What is your 10-year plan, 20-year plan, 50-year plan? And what is your retirement plan? Do you plan to retire and then go back to village and start rearing chicken there? Or do you plan to retire and become this well-known research fellow in whatever these companies they name them? And then these guys are always doing awesome things and good things until they die. They are always doing meaningful things. What is your plan? So you go to the future and then start coming back till the point that you are in and work towards that. Otherwise, nothing happens by chance. You will not just find yourself retiring and you have everything figured it out. You will start working from that today. What Liz you are doing today will make you the person you will be in 20 years to come. And if you don't do that, what you are doing today, you will not be that person in 20 years to come or 30 years to come. That is just my advice. And back to you, Liz. Thank you. You are muted. You are muted, Liz.
Oh, thank you. I was saying, unfortunately, have our session limited to only 2 hours, so we have some few minutes to go. Yeah, so do we have anyone with, I can see like the chat section is very quite engaging. People are talking there. So do you have any one with a question? They can raise their hand or unmute their mic and they can ask directed to any of our panelists. Yes, go ahead, Pam.
I had lost you, but it's okay.
Pardon?
It's not important. We had lost you for a bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was asking if there's, oh yeah, I can see Mark Gatere. Yeah, Mark, you can unmute yourself and then ask your question.
So hello, hope I'm audible.
Hi, Mark. Yes.
Yeah, my question is, actually, this is one of the most informative, educative, insightful, motivative session I've ever attended. So thank you so much. And my question was to Sir Simon, and also in relation to Sir Kevinji, on regards to skills and dropping out for instance, Sir Kevinji told us he took a break for about 1 year. So in the course of this 1 year, for instance, if you get a job, I'm not in the engineering field, I've been doing the programming stuff. And what if you get a job in the course of this 1 year? How do you advise this person? Should this person get back to school with the normal curriculum back to school, or can this person now take the job field? They can be in the job and continue. Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe I can respond to that, Mark. Thank you very much, Mark. I will say, I didn't take break to go and get a job, or I actually took a break to reanalyze, to rethink, to actually. So the problem was not the job, the problem was not the money, the problem was not the problem was understanding. I wanted to understand myself better. And what I did, someone else will not do that. There are people who will actually say, I'm dropping out, and then they will drop out and then go. There are people who will say, I will just stay and then restructure. You see, different people have different coping mechanisms. And that's why I always say, don't always hear what someone else is saying, listen through, get the advice from it, and then apply it in your life differently. All of us, we have E is equals to MC squared. But the way chemists will use that formula, the way chemists will apply that formula is different from the way engineer will apply it, electrical engineer and any other person. So always get the lesson and then apply it in your own perspective. Something else I will say about getting job and going to the industry. Remember, there's something we call this quick kind of gratification and all that. You may get a job which probably how much do you think you will get paid? Even if you are dropping out and you're getting a job. The most you can do is maybe 200K or 150 or 100 if you are really, really good and you are from school. Other than that, it will be something else. But that money is not really enough to make you live your dream, and very big dream. If you decide to go for something, go for that thing wholeheartedly. Mi husema, by the way, ukiamua kupenda mtu, mpende na roho yako yote, to the point yenye hata shaitani na Mungu wenyewe wanajua wenyewe. Huyu mtu alikuwa anapenda hii kitu. It's only that it didn't work. If you plan to do something, do it with your heart. all your heart. If it works, then you will say, I do not regret. If it doesn't work, again, you will say, I put everything, and it doesn't matter how much I do, it will not make any difference. So that is the advice I'll just say. And don't always go for one advice that you will get here from someone. I always advise even my mentees, the people that I mentor, I always tell them, whatever I'm telling you, that is reference one. Look for other 99 references, have 100 references, and then now draw your conclusion from those 100 references. If Kithinji was so biased into maybe one thing, the other person will be biased on another thing. By the end of the day, you will have 100 perspectives other than you relying on one reference from Kithinji. Yes, back to you, Liz. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah,
I've seen a
Elizabeth,
response. Yes.
a minute kindly. Oh, my
Yeah.
apologies. So I
Mhm.
wanted to ask on regards to, okay, someone has asked me which year I am. I'm in first year, and I've been doing data science and relation to machine learning. And that is not covered, for instance, here in campus, here in Kimathi. So what if I take a break? That's the advice I wanted to receive, because I've received a number of different opinions from different meetups I've been in on regards to, if I take that break, for instance, I'm not taking the break, but if I decide to take the break and perfect on my skills, I do more of data science projects and machine learning stuff. Then in the course, for instance, I receive a job opportunity. Should now I wanted to receive that advice on whether to go back to school while you're not doing data science, while you're doing the normal curriculum, or continue that, because my passion has been data science. So should I continue that field, that in the industry? Yeah, that's the specific. Yeah.
Maybe Simon
Okay.
can respond to that, because I've seen he has said something about every university student should be working. I'd really want to hear his comment on that.
Okay. The guy asked about whether he should first go to working or just continue studying or stuff to do with that. Well, okay, I'll say my take on this is usually, well, if there is a break that you can take, the maximum that's allowed and the maximum that you want, you just take it. Ensure you get your paper as well. You don't know what the future holds, so just do what is interesting at that particular time and that serves you right. Just think it through yourself. Is it the best thing at that particular time? Yes, then do it. Then you can still come back to your studies later. Just the paper is very cool and very good. Just have it and you can put it somewhere behind the desks. Then you can all together come back and continue doing what you want.
All right. Maybe you could hear from the chair of department. I mean, you'd be the one now granting this student the break. What is your take on that, Dr. Mulembo?
There's no formula in life. You see, like Zuckerberg dropped out of second year and did Facebook. I don't know if he went back to finish school. Same to Bill Gates. So if you're feeling really creative, why not? You can get out there and discover something that can. At the end of the day, this career, this degree is just a tool in your life. You might want to get it now or get it 20 years from now. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you just drive your life. I cannot tell you if you should do this. But I know parents, if parents are paying for you school fees, of course, they'd like you to finish. Parents get so much hurt. Sometimes for me, my policy is postpone delayed gratification. So even if I do something, I do it for 20 years. Then after that, that's when we'll start to fight about money and land and everything in the future. See, even I'm saying, I give an example. I don't want to make this political, but see, there's someone who's 80 years and wants to become a president, and he might make it or not. So, so these things, life is long. There's no hurry to these things. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Oh, that's an interesting response. Well, Mark, I hope that has answered your question. Am I still feel like there's more that you haven't gotten?
No, absolutely. It has answered my question. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we have Pam. Yes, Pam, you can unmute your mic.
Yes, I had a question to the panelists. I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
can you kindly uh, give us a rough sketch of the salary ranges, like in different levels of where you're working, or maybe below and above it?
Oh yeah. Well, we can start with Kirinji. I think that's the last person I got tumesikia from.
Pardon, Liz. I was on a call. I'm needed somewhere. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Please, will you mind repeating the question, Afadhali?
Oh yeah, it was from Pamela. She was asking maybe the salary range for people in your field or in your career.
Let me be candid enough
Okay.
to tell you the truth. Please don't how do I put this? Don't expect the salary of the president while you are an MCA and vice versa. That is number one. Number two, while you go to a showroom to buy a Pro Box, to buy a Vitz, and someone else wants to buy a TX, whatever, please don't just go and start to bargain for a TX. And wewe mwenyewe unajua the money that you have, the budget you have is for Pro Box. Pro Box is 1 million, TX is that couple of millions. So sometimes you always need to get the job done with what the budget you have. And then when that budget is enough and you've built experience and all that, and you have the money and everything else, you can now go to the TX. Now, going back to your question now. You will go to an Indian guy and he will tell you, you will have the best experience, but as an intern, you will get 20,000 or 15,000 or 25,000. I will tell you this, in life, there will always be offers and sacrifices. You will either sacrifice something to have good money or to have good experience. That is in engineering. It's not like a place where everyone is engineering. It's not regulated. So at some point, it will depend on you as a person, the experience level. That's why you will hear in engineering, they will talk more about experience. The experience level and the value you are bringing in that company. If they want a machine learning engineer, you are very experienced with 3 years, with 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years experience, your value will be different that you'll be bringing on board, and even the quotation will be different. But if you are just starting, I would always advise, if you want to be in the technical space, if you want to be in an engineering space, and if you are starting, please, weka pesa kando kidogo, but make sure whatever you get, it will balance all your bills and everything, and maybe remain with something for your party. But more importantly, focus, if you can get experience fast, the better. If you start with making money fast and you are making it maybe in washing clothes and you are an engineer, or washing toilets and you are an engineer, it doesn't matter whether you're making 1 million in that job. By the time you are doing transition or you want a promotion, it will be very hard for you. But if you start with skills, definitely it will go on well. With the current rates that I know for interns, it will run between 15 to around 20, 30, 40 if it's a good company. And then when you are starting, when you are doing your entry job, it will do ranging between 50 to 120 or 80 there. If it's something that is if you are doing 2-3 years now into the career, you will start to talk about 80 to around 150 there, depending on, again, the company and other things. But those are just the normal random kind of the normal jobs here and there. But there are some places where you will start with 200 or 300 straight out of campus. But that again depends on what you've been building in along the way. But after 5-10 years, again, if you are really good in your space, you will start to talk about 200 going up to around 350 there. But again, all these are just figures, but it all depends on how you position yourself. If you don't have skills, please don't forget. Simon has kept on saying this. If you don't have skill, just forget. If you don't have a good experience like Daktari has had, spending all that time investing, if you've not invested in all that time, please don't forget, just forget being in that position and having that money that you want. Money is good. It will come. It will definitely come. But you have to put in work first. You have to sacrifice first before you arrive there. Yes. Back to you, Liz.
I think the response Kidinji has given us covers pretty much the answers I am guessing. So yeah, we have 8 minutes to 12. So there are so many people that have asked about your contact. So how can you be able to reach you? Maybe somebody has a specific question for maybe, for example, I want to intern at your company, that is to Simon, or I want to apply to Konza. How can you be able to contact you? Or maybe I want to get into research, that's for Dr. Mulembo. So how can we reach you? Maybe via email, or is it phone, LinkedIn? How you could just give us your social media handle or the best way to reach you guys. You can just type that in the box, and then so you could have a closing remark. Parting shot. So we'd start with Simon. So Simon, we could tell us about Beyond Grades, and what would you want to tell guys that have taken time to come to this meeting and learn from you as someone who's started their own company in engineering? What's your parting shot for them? Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know most of those guys that are actually attending this. They are enthusiasts. They are wannabes. They want to be something else. Maybe they've seen someone do something and they want probably to be maybe better, or maybe do something a similar sort. Maybe my parting shot I believe that most guys are university students. For most universities, I will just tell you, stop wasting time, guys. I wouldn't tell you to stop partying. I'll just tell you, just plan your time. Give yourself, even if it's just 2 hours a day, learn something. You'll come to appreciate it once you complete 5th year, not even after graduation. Once you're out of that gate and you know that, well, next Monday is not I don't have a lecture at 8:30 a.m. So, that when that dawns to you, and if you have a skill, then you'll have something to lean on. So mostly is invest in your time, and guys, invest in more and more skills. I don't have any specific thing that I could tell you to invest in terms of skills. I know all the fields in engineering are quite good. So just focus on what you like and work on that, but make yourself better on that and you'll be good. And not necessarily, and when I talk of engineering, I'm talking of engineering in broad perspective. It's programming, engineering, graphic, digital design, you see? Yeah, so anything that has to do with that. Well, also, those guys that might be interested in learning IoT ecosystem entirely, software, hardware, and programming, and also digital design. What I'm saying, digital design as well. The website is there, Beyond Grades. Come spend time with us. Join us in our groups and chats. You will get to know what we do. And probably once you are completing school, or maybe even if not completed, you will be having something to do. We have students we are working with, actually mentoring, that actually we have absorbed in our company. And also we have others on attachment where we are giving them some tasks to actually familiarize them with what clients need outside there, stuff to do with that. So you guys for coming and attending this. Maybe you've shown some interest, maybe in advancing your knowledge and maybe your know-how in terms of what is outside there. Maybe you can to prepare yourself of what we call out there. So I think what the panelists have given you is quite good to get you going. And I'll say till next time, cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you. Oh yeah, at the end of the session, we'll take a screenshot. That's the only group photo you can take, unfortunately, because you're online. So guys, don't leave. We'll turn on your camera then. So we can have a parting shot from Dr. Mulembo.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the session. Thank you for the invite. I hope we picked up something, and these kinds of conversations lead to better understanding. Although many questions asked today are, I can say, sort of questions to solve people's problems, like how can I be rich immediately after university? Does university give me the skills to be the best engineer in the field immediately after university? But with time, people will understand that these questions, there are so many factors in this world to even success. Someone asked me one time, are you successful? What do you define as success? So you have to define your success, whether it's monetarily, health. There are so many fields to success, and there are so many fields there's so many factors to be successful. Like there's luck, there's unfair advantage, there's intelligence, there's location, there's so many factors. So yeah, thank you. Let me leave it at that.
All right, thank you. Yeah, Kivinji, you can. What's your parting shot to today?
Yeah, I'll say thank you guys for listening to us. It's not like we know much. It's not like we are unique. It's not like we are the best. As a matter of fact, I know there are people who have been listening who are way better than the three of us. And just by the virtue of you seated there for 2 hours listening to us, it's really humbling. And I wouldn't take that for granted. So mine will be just one thing: learn and learn and relearn, always. Never get to a comfort zone, because growth and comfort do not coexist. So always learn. If you find an opportunity to learn. Always unlearn bad habits, bad courses that you are doing, and again, relearn. If you apply that in your life, it will be as smooth as possible. Lastly, I'll recommend this because today we are talking more about careers. There's a book that I found very, very, very good in telling us, in giving us a fair advice in terms of career. It's called Ikigai. Ikigai defines life generally, career and everything, in 4 aspects. You need to have something that, you need to do something that you love. You need to do something that the world needs. You need to do something that you will get paid for. And lastly, you need to do something that you are really good at. So to sum my discussion today, if I've not talked anything sensible, just go and read Ikigai. It will give you the actual definition of life. Because in most cases, we will talk here and someone will say, Kitinji is passionate about engineering, but does engineering pay my bills? Does engineering, is that what I love? Is that what really I'm good at? Is that really what the world needs? So you may be really good in building things in mass, but is that what we really need right now here in Kenya? Can people really pay you for that, among other reasons? So I'll just leave it at that and say thank you very much. And I'm really honored and grateful for you guys inviting us and really listening to me. Back to you, Liz.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you so much to our panelists for taking the time of your busy schedule. Yeah, we appreciate you've learned a lot. I personally have learned a lot. And I hope this will help us in the various levels we are in our degrees and careers to at least refocus and we aim towards being better after this session. So we want to take just a group photo. Yeah, so you can also, if you're in a position to switch on your camera, you can switch on your camera, and then we can take a photo. Yeah, you can follow us. So while guys are still switching on their cameras, you can follow us on Twitter at GDSC. Just a minute, let me share that link. Yeah, so you can follow our Facebook, our our Twitter account. That is GDSC Kimathi at GDSC_Kimathi. Yeah, we'll be able to see our activities. So if you're in the Kut and you have enjoyed the platform, you can join our student community so that you can be able to learn more. And yeah, we hope to be having these talks more and learn. All right, I can see guys have switched on their cameras. So unfortunately, the screen settings, I don't know who knows the screen settings to minimize so that I can have all in just a minute. All right, how? Okay. We have 5 screens, so I'm going to start. Okay, on from my end. So yeah. The next. All right. Yes, I'm done. All right. Thank you so much for attending this session. So we hope to see you in more sessions like this and to interact with you all around campus and out there. And I hope we'll become better engineers after this. All right. Thank you so much. We can now leave at your own pleasure. Yeah, we're ending the meeting here.